for the first time since January 2023, St Mirren have won a penalty shootout. Come on. Yes, it did finish at the Smaja Stadium. St Mirren won, Hearts won. After extra time, St Mirren won 5-4 on penalties, which sees St Mirren progress to the quarter-finals of the Premier Sports Cup. Now, going back right to the start of the game, I said in my match preview that I wouldn't be surprised if Bacchus was starting, but I wouldn't really want him to start personally just because he's played 90 minutes last week. But Robinson did go for the call, Bacchus to start, so but I was also hoping to see King and Freckleton play together. They did play, but didn't play from the start. They did come on at extra time. Richard King did come on at extra time, so they kind of see that they played quite well together. But first half hour we were strong. Alex Gogic got his goal. A really good volley from a set piece. Really good to see someone scoring from set pieces. Something we've struggled with recently, last couple of seasons. Listen, I thought first 35, 40 minutes we were excellent. Second half came back out. We let Hearts get into the game a wee bit. Going just from like the 50th minute onwards, I thought we were quite poor. I say Robinson kind of made the substitutions a wee bit late. I think it was by the time Hearts scored, we'd only made one substitution, which was, I remember off the top of my head who the substitution was. One player I thought had a really good game was Miguel Freckleton. I thought he was a really good defender and looks to be an absolute coup for the club. So yeah, I think it was a 2-year deal we've signed him on, so always really good to have that. Another player who will probably go through the revolving door of join someone, do well, do 2 years or so, and then we'll get a good fee in a couple of years for him. So that's really good to see. Hopefully he doesn't leave soon. But great. He was really good against Motherwell, really good today. Hopefully that's just a start, and hopefully he's only getting better. One player I thought didn't have the greatest of games. I thought he was alright, but Jaden Richardson wasn't that good in my opinion. I think he had a couple of opportunities where he would run, burst forward, look as if he was going to shoot or get a cross in, but just didn't and played it back. Which was, I think he did that in the first opening minute, which would have a really good start, but I don't think there was anyone in the box. Actually, no, I think Mandron or Inga was in the box, but played it back to Phillips, I'm sure it was. Tried to put a cross in, didn't really meet anyone, so I mean, that's a couple of times he's done that already. I mean, same as someone, I know he scored his goal against Forfar, pretty similar to that, just ball over the top, or ball through to him, drive in, cut in and finish. So, something he can do. I've seen it before. Hopefully in the next few games he can get onto it. Hopefully get a couple more goals. Hearts got their goal with about 20 minutes to go. Centre back Ocean McEntee, I think it was. How you say it? Boy, his first goal for the Jambos. Listen, it came from a set piece. Corners. You've seen the open 2 games. Hearts were good from set pieces. I mean, Stuart Finn's the top scorer in the league, so that shows how much of a threat they are from set pieces. Good, we kind of managed to keep Finlay quiet, but yeah, obviously disappointing to lose a goal from set piece. Such a late point in the game. At that point, Hearts were really on top. Just good goalkeeping, but both attacking sides were poor. And Robinson said in his post-match that Shamal George didn't have a save to make. Do I agree with that? So one thing I must say is the refereeing was pretty poor from both sides. Stephen McLean, not one of the best refs in Scotland. I don't think we have any good refs in Scotland, if I'm being totally honest. But listen, you get what you get, and I think listening to Stephen Robinson's post-match there, he was saying the Hearts goal should be disallowed if VAR was in place, but didn't have VAR in that game. So interesting to watch it back and see if the goal should have been allowed or not. Penalties, Hearts scored 4 out of 5. The player that did miss was Claudio Braga. Hearts fans singing his name for about 60 minutes, and yeah, missed his penalty. That was good fun. I think penalty of the day, probably Marcus Fraser's penalty, unreal. Straight down the middle. Ronaldo's penalty, and off the crossbar, no one saving that, and Evan Mooney's penalty as well. Amazing penalty, right in the top corner, no one saving that, and Dyke still to go up and win it. Good penalty, and the change at the end, unbelievable. And partying with the fans. Shabal George, great save. Couple of years to the fans as well. It was couple of years to the Hearts fans. Absolutely great to see. Now, I was holding out to making this video because I was waiting to see the draw for the quarterfinals. St Mirren were actually one of the first teams at the hat this time, so the last ones, and we didn't actually get Celtic or Rangers. So that's always a good sign. But we do have to wait 24 hours to find out our opponents. We will either be travelling to Kilmarnock or to Dundee to face Kilmarnock or Dundee United. Anyway, that is going to wrap up another video on the channel. Thank you all so much for the support of the first video. Really appreciate it. Subscribe down below if you haven't. Anyway, see you all in the next one. Unless there's any news this week, which I doubt there will be, I will see you all next Friday for the preview of St Mirren vs Rangers.